So another thing we can do is in Shavasana is do, physically help somebody get in the position to relax. Typically, if you have people who haven't done Shavasana before, after a few classes, you feel comfortable to adjust them. You ask people if they want to be adjusted in Shavasana. Then you can walk around and do some things like this. So, he's already in the position, so we probably won't notice too much of a difference. But for people who aren't in the position, you will. You can kind of see how they're at. So I usually start by down at the legs, picking up the feet, being careful not to pull too hard on the, on any parts of the legs. And then you can just gently rock side to side, letting kind of pulling the low back a little longer is what we're doing here. And then releasing the legs, and he's nice and relaxed. And then we just pulled the hips down, we pulled the back down. So a lot of times the shoulders are left behind. So we're going to pull the shoulders down this way. Same thing. He's pretty relaxed, opening out, pushing down with the palms. I guess the only thing to be aware of is, as we pull the legs down, that pulls the core of the body down, and a lot of times the shoulders will be left up. So we have to get the shoulders down. And then coming around here, if I push right on the tops of the shoulders and the outsides, I can kind of roll the shoulders down and back. Just what we're always talking about doing. Just gently pushing down. So I'm pushing towards his hips and towards the floor. Again, kind of let the shoulders open out and down. Then we can do the massage. Massaging underneath, the bottom of the neck, the upper part of the back and the center. And obviously you want to have consent and know your students. Probably first time somebody walks in, you won't do something like this. But just massaging and then pulling gently, getting the head nice and centered. Maybe rubbing the forehead towards the temples. And then finishing it off. Just nice pressing down at the third eye. So you can do, whatever you're comfortable doing, and whatever feels good, whatever you're craving in Shavasana, that's what you're going to want to be doing. So probably, a good way to start is just go find one of your massage friends and adjust them, and then get their feedback, and then have them adjust you, obviously. So it's kind of like not really a massage, but we're getting people in the most comfortable position we can imagine by looking at their body. Like I see her shoulders are just up a little bit after I pulled her legs down. Her shoulders just stay up a little bit. Then pushing the hands down. And just like any adjustment, being aware of their breath, being aware of where they are. And sometimes you'll feel people, they actually, even though they're, comfortable with the adjustment, they are actually tensing up when you're adjusting. They're kind of resisting. So, in that situation, probably not doing much good by adjusting. If you feel people resisting, you can just let them lie there on their own. So this is something you just need to practice, and it's best to probably just, practice on your friends and get their feedback on what feels good and what doesn't feel good. And, just start off being really easy. You're not doing any big adjustments here. You're just helping people relax into the most comfortable relaxation pose possible. Oh, another thing is, a lot of times people will feel pressure on their low back. So a good way, they'll feel discomfort on their low back after lying in Shavasana. So if you put a pillow or something right under the knees, I don't have one right here, But we can just imagine putting a pillow or a bolster or a rolled up mat right here, and it will lift the knees up enough, and then that brings the low back closer to the floor, and it's much more comfortable. I mean, you can, if you don't have a mat or anything, you can kind of bring the feet apart. Sometimes you can get comfortable here, but it's hard to get comfortable and totally relaxed. You know, a lot of times you'll just tip to the side. So you need something. You need something underneath. You know, just you know, sometimes even 2 inches. Some people might want 8 inches or 10 inches up. And it really takes that pressure off the low back. Probably all of us feel more comfortable like that, but some people feel uncomfortable lying flat. So it's good. Good thing to know about. You can also you can imagine putting a chair here, and then you could just rest right on the seat of the chair. That also works too. It's really comfortable.